Welcome to my craft table. I'm truly delighted that you're joining me here today. It's always just such a pleasure to share with you the projects that I've been working on throughout the week. So this week is also a week that I've been working on some projects, and I'd like to share them with you. So first of all, as you know, I've been trying to clean up all the little scraps in my craft room, and I'm getting ready for my Christmas mini series, so you want to save the date for that. It'll be like all new Christmas product from the new mini catalog. So you'll want to see that. I have some from the online exclusives that I'll be using as well. So it'll just be a fun time to just get ready and get on to those Christmas cards, right? So let me stop now and share and introduce myself. If you're watching for the first time and we haven't met, I'm Rita from the Rita's Paper Motif, your creative destination for card making, scrapbook layouts, and inspiration for your next project. Now, before we get started, I'd like to invite you to follow me here on Facebook, and then you'll be able to see all the new projects or tutorials that I upload, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel where I share fresh ideas every week. And of course, you're always welcome to visit me at the Paper Motif. It is the best place for you to stay connected with all the things that are happening here at Rita's Paper Motif. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you some designs that I've created using up some of my loved designer series paper. We call that DSP. I'll share a couple of projects with you, and then we're going to create a card together. So grab your favorite drink. I've got my coffee. Settle in, and let's enjoy some creative time together. Okay, so let's see here. Also, one more thing. Before we get started, if you're joining me live, please say hello and let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, if you'll type replay in the comments so that I can come back and greet you. Now, your thumbs up, your comments, and sharing the video really do help to get our, I'm getting ready for my Christmas. Sorry about that. It really does help to get our videos and our, whatever we're sharing out to more people to see. So, I had a little technical thing there, so your grace please on that. Now let's get started. So I'm trying to use up, I'm falling apart here is actually what's happening. I'm trying to use up all my scraps because I'm reorganizing my craft room, number one, and number two, I'm making way for Christmas, my Christmas series. So when I was looking through my scraps, I found this little packet. It's Fun of Life designer series paper, and I really did use a lot of it. Actually, if I remember correctly, you've got a lot of DSP in this package, and so this is not part of that, but that's a scrap. I found a lot of these little squares. I found some strips too, and I thought to myself, I know I can make a card with these strips. I could even like do some different designs with that. But sometimes we're always looking for something new, right? And I thought, well, I have a couple ideas with these squares. This is probably the smallest size that I'll save as far as my scraps, but I wanted to use them up. And so I kept thinking, what could I do? What could I do? And then it dawned on me. I remember seeing a creator use little scraps like that. And what she did is she actually, well, I've seen two ways. She one actually used like some little squares, and the one that I'm kind of taking her idea and remaking it as my own. She used hearts. So I know I have this heart punch that is the Country Bouquet. It's retired, but I keep all my punches. And it had a heart. So how easy is that? I didn't even really have to die cut, right? Because there's that heart. I'll just punch it out. So I looked again to make sure what I wanted to use as far as scraps. And I found some more scraps. And this is all of the scraps that were different than that Fun for Life. So they're from different packages of DSP. These two are from the Perennial Lavender, and that's kind of old. And then this was a DSP that I got when we had celebrations campaign. And here's some more with the in colors. This is when we had the Shy Shamrock and shaded Sunny. What was it called? I've already forgotten. But the Shy Shamrock was one of them. And so I thought, well, you know what? What can I do with these? And I was wanting to do the heart, right? So, you know, there's that, the rainbow thing, right? So here's a piece of red. So we have red, and then we have orange. Let's see, I'm not sure what I did for the orange. I maybe must have used all of that. Actually, I used some of this, I believe. Some of this. Let me see. So on the back side of this Fun for Life Designer Series paper, it's kind of like the ombre effect. So I just picked a piece out of here that I had that had the orange on it. So I maybe have used it. Good. But anyway, so I used that to cut the orange, and then I used this for the yellow, but I could have used that for kind of the orange too. And here's my green, and here's my blue, and here is my violet. So you can see where I punched some of them, and I went ahead and punched the leaves from the punch. I didn't know if I was going to use them or not, because when you take a card and you make it your own, sometimes if you're using different things, then you can't follow that card idea exactly, right? So, so here's what I used, and I'm going to show you something else I wanted to use was this mask. So I call these stencils, but Stampin' Up! Calls them masks, and this is a very old one. Even this kind of material that it's made out, they come a little more sturdy now. And one of the things that's happened in my crafting is I am really starting to become drawn to using the stencils and the masks. So I remember seeing the person whose card I'm making my own, is that she used some stencils to give the images a little bit of a background. And so I took this stencil and I took my smoky slate. I wanted a soft color, so even softer than this might be good. Like I'm thinking a basic beige would be great. And I just so here's the card I made. So I just used this and blended some dark gray on the white layer of my card, and that gives it some background. Now again, like I said, I really kind of like this lighter color, so I think basic beige for me, because sometimes I get heavy-handed, I might have liked a little better. But here is that the smoky slate, and I do love that. I was thinking originally that I would blend it and then move it over to give it a little bit of a change in the plaid, but it already has those little lines here, and so that really wouldn't have worked for this mask. But here it is, and here are those pieces that I cut out with the punch, or punched out I should say, and I just went ahead and adhered them on here. I did go ahead and use some of those leaves, but you really don't have to. what I intentionally, or what I thought I would do in the beginning, would be to put my sentiment strip right here in the middle, but because of the size of these hearts, that kind of didn't work out. And then I took the sentiment from some scraps that have sentiments and words from previous kits, or maybe I stamped a lot of extra. So I just took this beautiful, I think this came from a paper pumpkin, and I just took this sentiment beautiful, put it on some black, fussy cut it, and put it on the front of my card. So this is what we're going to create a little later today, but with a spin on it. And then something else I did with that Fun of Life was, as you all know, I really do like to scrapbook. I like to preserve my memories. And so I did a scrapbook page. I did a 2-page layout. So let's kind of talk about this. So I used some letter dies, some alphabet dies that I've had in my stash for a while, and I just die cut the word family, and I used that from the back of one of these pieces that I had. So not obviously not this color, but it was one that had a lot of rainbow colors on it, and I just die cut. Well, here's one. So I just die cut those letters, and then I just put them on a piece of basic white, and then layered it on some more of this, and then on some black to make it pop. So here's my title. I had some sticky words. These are kind of cushiony. Some cushiony words that I just took and used here to enhance that title. And then these are the pieces that are of the back of one of these. Actually, I think I used 2 or 3 because I wanted some different coloring on here. So these are 2.5 by 4, I believe, inches, and then I just cut them at the diagonal, so it gives them that kind of long triangular shape. And then I just put them here. I did put this pink strip, which I'm going to adhere better, on the side, just so that it kind of grounds it a little bit. And then this One Fine Day comes from a stamp set that I am using more and more and more. It's called the Extraordinary Life. So here it is right here, and I just cut it out. Once I stamped it, I cut it out. And then this camera I've had in my stash for a long time. I think when I first got my Cricut Joy, I made some of these, and I've had them in my stash. And so I wanted to use that. I just put a little silver foil behind it to give it that metal look that you see in the cameras. Now, I don't have my pictures on here. As you know, I don't usually put my pictures unless I have permission, and so I don't. So anyway, this is the second page. And again, I used that same stamp set, love it. And then I just fussy cut the heart. Same thing on this side, just mirrored this side. And I took a bigger die cut that I had of a camera. And on where the lens would be, I took this stamp set that has the lines. What is it? A note. The note stamp set. I lost it. The note stamp set, and I just stamped some lines here. This is where I'm going to journal. And then this smile is a word that came from Make a Memory scrapbook workshop, and I just put it on some black and some more of this designer series paper. So I will finish this out, because what I want to do is put some paper that looks like rolled film, maybe, so that it gives that illusion of pictures, because the pictures that I'm putting on here are very old. They were taken probably 50, 60 years ago. They're black and white, and so they're going to go on here. So I think that roll of film would or the strip. Remember when you used to take pictures and you had to have them developed, you would get the film strip so that you could always have them copied again if you needed to. So that's what I'm thinking. What I might even do is I think I have some of those old photos that I've saved because, well, that's what we do sometimes. That might be kind of fun to just put on here because it would be the real thing. But anyway, so I wanted to show you how I use the scraps. I have some plaid designer series paper that I think I'm going to do another one. I have like 4 scrapbooks going at the same time, so I'm always looking for new ideas to use up, yes, my DSP, but to make them different. So there's that. And then what I wanted to do today was to make a card, very much like the one that I showed you at first. We're going to be using this brand new embossing folder, or I did use this because some of these parts I've already done ahead just to save time. But I used the Swirls of Magic embossing folder. And if you're thinking that you want to purchase some of the product I'm going to be using for my Christmas series, this is one of them that I will be using. So this is brand new. It's on the online exclusives, and I just love it. It's not just for Christmas, it's for any time of the year, but I really like the outcome of that. And let me see how I can get this so you could see it better. I'm hoping that that helps. Does it? So let's see. You can kind of see the swirls, and then there's little stars. And so I can see a lot of things going on with this. I can see putting some ink on here maybe for Christmas or whenever. Anyway, it gives it a lot of texture. So we're going to use this, and just wanted to share that with you. And then don't forget this die set, the Lovely Arrangements die set. This is great for sentiments. In fact, my sentiment was cut out with that. And if you wanted to use circles for your own card and maybe not hearts, this would be a great die set. You get a lot of circles at a time. I thought about this, but I think that they're a little too small for what I was intending. But you definitely can, take advantage of that. So let's get all our card stuff out here. So we have I just found all of my trays that I've had for a while, so that was kind of exciting. That's what happens when you clean out your craft space, right? So we're going to start with a card base out of Basic White. This is 8.5. It was 11. I cut it at 5.5 and scored it at 4 1/4. So that gives us our card base. And then I have a piece of that designer series paper. So I actually have 2. One for the front, and then I've been liking to, because I use the regular Basic White for most of my cards and not the thick, I find that it enables me to embellish or to decorate and strengthen the back part of this as well. If this were the thick Basic White, that might get too heavy. But this is going to go in here, and then we're going to stamp our message on that and put it in here as well. So we'll have a nice decorative inside as well. So let's go ahead and do that and just get that done. We're going to stamp, of course. I didn't stamp this ahead of time. I did stamp the greeting, but I didn't stamp this. And I want to use the sentiment Sending Smiles, and that is from the Lovely Arrangement stamp set. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me move some of this out of the way. So I'm using my Memento Black. You could definitely use our new black hybrid. And I also have been depending on my stamping positioner quite a lot lately. So I'm going to see if I can get this straight here. So I'm going to put it right in the middle. This is a new thing that I've adopted. So there we go. Looks fairly straight, right? And this is going to go right on here, and then we're going to put it in the middle. So let's get going with that. So it's always nice to decorate inside too. I used to always wait and come back and put my sentiments on when I decided who I was going to mail it to. But you know what? Then I found that it was just a lot harder to do that than if I just did it right away. So, whoops, this is not, I don't have an equal margin all the way around. I just found that it was kind of harder to do that for me, and just getting it stamped right away is probably a better idea. So let's see, I'm going to try this again. That's better. And then we're just going to go ahead and put it on the inside of our card. And today you can see I'm using my tape runner. I usually use a liquid glue on my videos because it gives me that time to manipulate whatever I'm putting down if I didn't get it straight. It's a little harder to get things straight when you're doing videos because you can't look straight down on it. So this is going to be, this is not the right size, so we need to cut it down. I want this panel to be 4 by 5 1/4, so I knew it wasn't that. Now, when I cut this down to 5 1/4, I don't want to lose all this red right here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut off a little bit, like an 1/8. So here's 1/4. So I'm going to, and this is 5 1/2. So I'm going to cut an 1/8 off of this side. Let's see. So here's the 1/4, here's the 1/8. So I'm going to cut that off. Then I'm going to flip it around. And if I put this at 5 1/4, it should give me the right amount to cut off. And so now I have all of those. I haven't cheated any of those beautiful colors. So there's that. And then we have our, we are going to need to cut this down too, because when I layer it, it is too big. So we want this to be 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take some off of each side because I don't want to lose all that beautiful embossing. And I could have just cut it the right size when before I embossed it, but if you have a side that maybe you don't like as well, this is just easier. And sometimes that happens. And then this, I want it to be 3 3/4 by 5. So I am just going to cut the top off. And there we go. So there's that. Now we should fit just perfectly. And I do want to have it at the right size now because we're going to be putting on our hearts. So let's look at what these are cut out of the Fun of Life, whereas on the other card they were cut out of different pieces of DSP. So I have the red, the orange, the yellow, the green. Let's see here. Maybe I didn't use that for, here's the blue. Well, I think I'm going to use this for the green instead of this. I don't know. This has more than just green, but it is kind of cool. It does have kind of a good effect. It's kind of bold for the rest of these. Uh-oh. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Drop it in the comments what you think I should use. Let's see here. Anybody got an idea? This or this? I think I'm going to go with this. I saw a couple of votes there. No, I didn't. I don't know what I saw. Okay. All right. So then I am going to want to put these down on my card. And on this card that I made before, I did not use dimensionals. So I think I am going to use dimensionals on this. So let's go ahead and do that. So I think that we can get by with maybe, I don't like to be too frugal with my dimensionals. So I think, well, maybe we can use the regular dimensionals. So I'm going to use 3 on each little heart. And let's see, I'm going to place them before I take that off, that release paper, because I don't, usually if you pick them right up, it's so you have time, but let's see what we want to do. So do you see how this is coming together? So this is just using the colors of the rainbow and just that punch, but you could, again, you could use any shape you want. You could use circles, you could use squares, you could actually use squares, you could use octagons or hexagons, you could use, well, obviously I could keep listing forever, right? I actually originally thought I was going to do stars, and then I changed my mind. So this would be pretty too for the blue. So there's just so many options, and also maybe you don't want to use that rainbow idea for the colors of your hearts or shapes, but you could use whatever you want. It is your card, right? So I'm thinking that's what I want to do. It gives it some nice color, and you have definitely the texture of the embossed layer. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to take the release papers off here. And I like how this is placed, so I'm gonna move it up just a little though. Once I set this, then that's gonna set the positioning for the rest of them. If these were smaller, again, you could put them in a row. Let's see. Whew. Wasn't sure if that was straight. Okay. So, the question sometimes comes up, why is there such an intention on using up scraps? And my intention is that, or my idea is that this is beloved DSP that I've used, and obviously, you know, we get several sheets in a package, and so because I've invested in the DSP and because I loved it, I don't want to just trash it, so, or put it in the recycle bin. So a lot of times I will pack it up, and let's see, where am I going to put that sentiment? So like I said, I've already done my sentiment. This right now can change. So if I put it here, I'm going to put this down a little. That was my point. So I sometimes will pack up my scraps, and I will send them to my great niece and nephew. They're younger, and they love to just create with paper and ink, and you know, to just do their own thing. And so sometimes I will do that, but also sometimes I'll donate. And if you are a customer of mine, sometimes when I first get the DSP, I will cut some of the DSP and send it to you so that you can play with it. Okay, I'm gonna have to move these up. My idea wasn't working so good. I probably should have placed this first. Okay, let's see here. There we go. So this is going to have to go right up here. And then this is why I try not to press down until I'm happy with everything. So this will go right here. So there's our layer. Now, if we're going to put this, we can definitely put it in the middle. We could do that. I think it goes better in the middle than anywhere else. But let's go ahead and put this on the layer that we cut for it and then on our card. For this, I am going to use glue because let's see here. I don't want to squish this, and liquid glue will work better for this purpose. And also the texture on the white panel might need a little more than, well, the adhesive would be fine, but I could accidentally press down too hard, and I do know that sometimes I'm a little heavy-handed there, so I don't mean to be, but let's see. That looks good. So we're going to go ahead and adhere that down and put it on our card. You could use a different card base, a colored card base if you wanted to. You'd have so many options because the color on this card is the rainbow, right? So you could definitely do that. Let's see here. There we go. So I am going to take my bone folder and just kind of trying not to press too hard, just to get this layer to lay. And I see there's a little where I maybe could put a little dab of glue. I hate doing this because sometimes if you get too much glue and it oozes out, that's not a good thing. Clean it up. All right. So now let's think about our sentiment. If we put our sentiment right here, I don't want to put a background on the sentiment because it'll take away from the hearts. I am going to put 2 mini dimensionals on each side, and I think that will hold it enough that I don't really need anything in the middle. Because let's just see, maybe I better put one in the middle. I don't want it to squish down my hearts. You could put ribbon on this. I just feel like I have enough going on that I don't need it, ribbon or twine, and that is kind of unusual for me because I really like my twine. So let me try and get this in the middle. Okay, I think that's good. Let me see if I think it's straight. Let's see here. Okay, so there we go. The card is made. Now, I thought about what different bling I could use on here, and it is the rainbow, so you could pretty much use whatever you want. And I did look to see what bling I had that maybe I wanted to use up, and I have used that up, so I feel really good about that. So I'm gonna go to what is a good basic bling. I don't think you can go wrong using this, and it's the Rhinestones Basic Jewels, and I'm just gonna put them all over my card. So I really hope that this design inspires you to, you know, maybe you don't have a lot of scraps. Good for you, but I did just want to use them up. I just have a few more, and I'm getting in my new product for the Christmas, and so I just want room for it, and I want to finish up my craft space. So I'm, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I always like the odd number. I'm painting and just reorganizing it before I start the Christmas session, and then once I do the Christmas series, then I'll probably do a few more, maybe some Thanksgiving, and then it'll be the new year, and we'll have all new product because we're getting a new mini catalog, right? It's coming out in, I believe, September, and so a lot of new product, which is what I'm going to be featuring, a lot of it in my Christmas series. So that's one of the reasons that I waited till September. But here we go. I hope that you like this. I hope this gives you ideas so that you can also create and use up your scraps, or maybe you just have small pieces and you want to use them up. But the nice thing about this is there pretty much anything would go, right? So anyway, I want to thank you for visiting me. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and let me know where you're watching from, and definitely follow or subscribe. So I'll see you again next week, and thank you for visiting. Bye now.